Hi guys, CityScapes here, and welcome back to Verville episode 42. Here on screen you can see what we built in the last episode. We recreated the Zurich main station building with procedural objects out of a handful of already existing assets. Of course, the proper way to do this would probably have been to make the station in a 3D modeling software like Blender, Maya or something like that. But for me, the fastest way to do this was just using the in-game tools, because these are the ones I'm most familiar with. But still, it took me a couple of days to make this station here. This station is going to replace the current station sitting in the heart of Verville, and I talked about it in the last episode already. I really wanted to give the station an upgrade, and yeah, the time has come. Today we are removing that monstrosity into place. And of course I already expected it to be really bad in terms of time I had to invest in this episode here. Because it all started off with me trying to delete as little as possible. But yeah, the thing with Skylines, or also a lot of other aspects of life, is that the second try is almost always going to be a lot better than the first one. And so I started to continuously widen the area I deleted stuff from, and I ended up with rebuilding a lot of city blocks around the train station here, replacing a lot of road networks, but I will show you this in the next two episodes. Bottom line is that I originally calculated something like 1 or 2 weeks for this replacement process here, but until now it's over a month later and I'm still not finished rebuilding all the stuff surrounding the station here. And frankly, it doesn't even concern just the immediate surroundings from the station here, because since we now have quite a few more station platforms as well as underground platforms, I also had to completely redo all the tracks in front of the station with all the switches and stuff. And up to this date I couldn't motivate myself to detail this area yet, so you just have to wait a little bit longer for me to show all the nicely detailed tracks. But what I did do is detailing the immediate surroundings of the station, and man, I have to admit I'm really satisfied with the look of it. It looks very authentic and not exactly like Zurich, but this was never the goal of this whole series here, even though at this point I can admit that I wish I made this whole project a recreation project. But there are also positive sides to it, so I can have a little bit more of creative freedom, I guess. But anyway, I still love Verville very, very much. I really enjoy building in this save here, and even though I recently started working on the Citadel again, I really haven't lost my passion for Verville, and I don't think I will in the near future. And yeah, you just see me here replacing all the road infrastructure surrounding the station, especially in the station front, on the lakeside side of the station. I wanted to change the road layout a bit to resemble the real life place a bit better. And so I squeezed a road tunnel in there, which is basically just a sunken road and covered with a lot of different stuff, mostly ploppable asphalt. And yeah, I'm making good use of the node controller mod here, as you can see. I'm still using the older version. There's already the node controller renewal version, but as of right now the older version has a little bit more features, and I use these features very often, so a switch to the latest node controller is out of the question for me, unfortunately. I use it in the Citadel though, and obviously it's a lot faster than the old one here. But yeah, that's also pretty cool that I get to use different mods and different assets in my two different saves here. Now that I see this time lapse here, I notice that I'm still not using my updated portfolio of road assets, I actually switched all the roads to the McWelshman roads, as well as some that I created myself. So basically I just took some 4-lane roads from McWelshman and put the tracks from Klass's tram networks on top of them. So basically I just tried to get a cohesive look of all my road and tram assets used in Verville here. But yeah, right now we moved to the tracks, to fiddling around with all the tracks. You just saw me there placing some prop arrows in between the tracks to measure the distance. I wanted the distance between the individual tracks to be the same all over the place here. And in general, the idea for this whole cluster of tracks was to make it look a bit wavy, I guess you could say. So we kind of have the highest density of tracks right under the highway bridge here. But in general, the tracks, they kind of spread out in curves and parking tracks, or however you call them, and then they come back together to one massive cluster and then they spread out again. And I just love that wavy pattern that you can also see from Google Earth. And speaking of which, let me just show you this quickly to you again. Here we have a nice overview of the whole station once again. And here you can see all the tracks and networks that lead right into the station there on the very right side. It is a really vast network of tracks here in Zurich. And as mentioned in the last episode, it's one of the busiest stations in Europe and the whole world. And yeah, I'm just trying to catch that vibe as good as possible. But guys, that's enough from my part for now. I'll let you enjoy the rest of the time lapse, and we'll talk back to you in the end of the video. Hope you enjoy! Alright guys, so here I am again, which means we are already nearing the end of today's episode. I really hope you like the new train station we have here now in the heart of Verville. I know self-praise stinks, but I can't deny that I really love the new station. It's a really nice centerpiece for Verville, at least in my opinion, and I hope you think so too. Let me know down in the comments. Now that I see the time-lapse here, I have to say there could be done even more in terms of detailing. And as usual, I will probably come back to the area and add some restaurant cafes or bicycle stands or whatnot here and there. Yeah, that will just be improved as time progresses. Now, I'm not completely sure what the next episodes will be about. It's either gonna be Verville again, where I show how I improved the surrounding city blocks, or maybe I will already be ready for an episode from the Citadel finally again after almost half a year. Guess we will just wait and see. So thank you guys, each and everyone, for watching. I'm really happy that you are still enjoying the content from Verville here, and I just love sharing that passion with you guys. And of course I want to thank explicitly my 5 Patreons, Jason, James, Han, Connor, and very recently also Renee. Thank you guys so much for your financial support, it's highly appreciated. And to be honest, I can't even find the right words to describe how flattered I am that you guys are doing this for me. Okay, so I think that's all for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe, of course. And if you can't get enough of Verville, or the Citadel for that matter, consider following me on Instagram or Facebook. And if you just want to have a chat with me or exchange some ideas, definitely check out my Discord server. So I'm gonna leave you with the crispy 4K cinematics and really hope to see you next time.